Hey everyone, it's Tenja. So let's take a look at what we have going on this week in World of Warcraft. This is a pretty light week if you don't do pet battles. And that's because our weekly quest is the pet battle bonus event. I have a lot of pets, but this isn't something that interests me, and I'm going to choose not to put any time into it. But our main fated raid this week will be Sanctum of Domination. Remember, this is 1/3 of the fated raid you need for Jigglesworth Sr., the Slime Saber cat mount. And don't forget, it has to be on normal or higher difficulty. And last but not least, our PvP brawl this week will be Deep Wind Dunk. It's another one I've never tried, but there isn't a lot going on this week, so I may check it out. But for me this week, World of Warcraft has been awesome. Let's start off with looking at my Dragonsoul run attempts. There's only 3 of them, 453 to 455.
Moment alone was I made. Look upon your death, mortal, and despair. Now, what I am Moment alone was I made. Look upon your death, mortal, and despair. Now is the hour of twilight. But I am for this moment alone was I made. Look upon your death, mortal, and despair. What I am.
See, I told you it was a good week. After 3 attempts, I finally got the Experiment 12B mount. Mind you, it was 455 attempts in total to get this thing, but only 3 this week. And this is easily one of my top 10 favorite mounts. It looks awesome, and I'm pretty happy to get it. Another good thing is, I didn't have to do Sepulchres of the first one this week. Usually, once a week, I'll get on one character, go over and do Zereth Mortis. I'll farm up all the rares, do the big quest line, and then go over and buy Ola caches by the Pokepoc table. I did that, I went over, I bought my caches, and lo and behold, there was a tool of incomprehensible experimentation in one. I bought between, 30 and 40 of these caches, so I was kind of surprised to see it. I've heard tales that they were in there, but I didn't figure I would ever see one coming out of there, so I was happy. And it allowed me to build my last protoform mount, the Protoform Leaper. It's just another frog, but at least it finishes my protoform synthesis mounts. So I'm done farming the Sepulchre of the first one. I can just run 1 character through there or 5 characters, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm pretty happy to see it finished. And being I had a string of good luck going, I figured I'd go try the Pandora World bosses. You know, if you're gonna go, you might as well go big. But it didn't hold out. I didn't see any mounts off any of them. And being the drop rates are awful on the world bosses, I figured, you know what, go give Siege of Orgrimmar a try and see if I can get the Tusk of Manoroth. And while the Tusk didn't drop, I did get another Scorpion mount out of there, which makes 2 of them so far. I really wish they would remove that. I don't like seeing mounts drop a second time when I already have them once, especially if I'm soloing the place. Seems like the biggest waste of a mount. And I headed over to Antorus, the Burning Throne, on Mythic and Heroic for more chances at the sight, the sword, and the mount, but it didn't work out. I didn't see any drop. So I figured, night holds pretty quick, I'll go knock that down, give a shot at my last Inferno. It didn't work out either. I also made it up to Blackrock Foundry for a chance at the Ironhoof Destroyer, but I had no luck in there either. So I went over to BFA and hit a couple of the 5-mans, did Freehold for a chance at Sharkbait, didn't see him drop, so I headed over to King's Rest for another chance at the Tombstalker, and I didn't see that one drop either. But between doing all that, I did do a few of the Arathi based in comp stomps, and if you don't know what they are, I've only done them a few times. The opposing team is all NPCs. You don't actually fight an opposing faction of players. It's kind of weird, but to my shock, it was worth doing because I got a new soul shape out of there. I got the Warven Soul, and I'm pretty happy it got me down to 15 more souls. And since I knocked out Experiment 12B and I don't have to farm that up anymore, and I don't have to farm up the tools of incomprehensible experimentation out of the sepulture of the first one anymore, I figured I could add a new big mount farm in, and I decided to go with the Abyssal Worm from the Tomb of Sagaris. It's a pretty fast one is why I chose it, to be honest with you. The mount looks awful, but it drops off the third boss in the raid, so it takes 15 minutes to do it. So I took 12 characters through there, and we can take a look and see what they got to drop for them.
Face the might that lurks beneath the waves! Hail my queen! The indignity! The indignity!
So I'm still pretty fresh at farming this guy. I'm only 41 attempts on the mount. I figure it'd be a bit before I see him, but you know what? It's a big change up from doing Dragonsoul every week, and I can farm some gear on some of my alts. And in case you're wondering this week, I'm wearing a Wrath of the Lich King set. This was the Warrior Tier 7 set. It's the 10-man Dreadnought set, and again, it's a pretty straightforward farm. You'll find yourself in Nax, but Nax isn't bad, it's a pretty fast run. The only part you can't get in Nax are the gauntlets. You'll have to go to the Obsidian Sanctum, and they'll drop in there for you. It's pretty easy though, and if you haven't done it for the mount, just go kill the boss and you'll get a mount. It's a nice clean set, and it's always been one of my favorites. And this was the first time that Blizzard decided to do a 10-man set and a 25-man set. Mind you, the 25 has a few more bells and whistles than the 10-man, but they both look pretty good. But hey, if you had some good luck this week, tell me about it in the comment section. I'd like to hear about it. And if you enjoyed the video, you can give it a like, you can click on subscribe. Thanks for coming by and watching it. I'm going to send a hi out to my best friend, and y'all take care.